Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. Hope you guys are doing fabulous. It's the year 2022 and this is the first batch of zodiac sign readings that we are doing for the year. So I've brought in the Gustav Klimt deck and my Spirit Animal Oracle cards, and we're just checking in for the fresh new energies here around the full moon in Cancer, and of course here just this month in January in general, the first month of a brand new year. So let's get started with your animal oracle. It is snowing today where I live, and it's kind of stopped right now, but it's otherwise just kind of overcast and rainy, so it's like perfect winter weather. I got my coffee over here, snuggled up in my PJs and my hoodie, and that's the vibe today. Ooh. Got 4. It said give them to me. So what I'm kind of getting the impression right now, like it's just all about animals. There's a little bit of something about animals in your life, Aries. It's kind of like just give them to me, like you want all of these messages. We're going to try and keep it in a nutshell, but let's see what you got. You got the Peacock Spirit, Let It Shine, number 46. You got number 45, Watch Your Words, Parrot Spirit. You've got Coyote Spirit, number 16, Trust in Divine Detours. And you've got the Koi Fish, number 36, There's Always Enough. It just said land, air, and sea, and all that in between. Land, air, and sea, and all that in between. And it was saying that because peacocks mostly hang out on the ground, right? But they're a bird, and they've got these feathers and everything. So this coyote spirit, it's very subtle. I don't know if you'll see it. You can see it in the recording. Has this, it's a really pretty golden mask on its face. And that's one thing that's really jumping out to me ahead of time. It said, trust in divine detours. And I'm just kind of, it's kind of giving me some Phantom of the Opera, which that's a vibe I picked up off of either Virgo or Pisces reading, about wearing a mask, which of course COVID, mask, etc. So it could be related to that, but it could also just be related to the feeling of having to wear a mask around people, not getting to be your true self. And with the coyote here saying trust in divine detours, it's like very much looking for an opportunity to stop masquerading. That was where the Phantom of the Opera was coming in. To stop masquerading and kind of get to be your true self. That's where the parrot spirit is also coming in and saying, watch your words. And these two are very much, it said, working together. These energies right here with the orange and the red, these two energies especially are working together. And it kind of wants me to like spread those out there. It's saying, watch your words and trust in divine detours. So honestly, Aries, what it sounds like is if you have plans of your own, especially if you feel like you're masquerading or having to hide at this time, cannot be your full true self, have to watch your words. These two energies right here are guides that are working together that are definitely, I mean, and they're working close to you together to guide you forward. Their advice is to watch your words. Why? Because people repeat what you say. People misinterpret what you say. Parrots are symbols of prophecy, really, because of the fact that they have the ability to repeat words of humans. And so they're supposed to be very spiritual in that way, as a symbol of being a guide between the spirit world and the earthly realm, right? And that's where the parrot does say, watch your words, because words get twisted and misconstrued or repeated and misused sometimes. So it's very important for you to watch what you say. The coyote spirit is saying, like, you know, you might not get to do everything as you want exactly at this time, but trust in the divine detours of life. You are being guided. So even if things aren't going down the path that you would like for them to go down, it's an encouragement to go with the flow. And essentially, it said, watch your back, watch yourself. At the same time, you have these cool colors on the outside with these other two cards, and it's a 46 and a 36. So the 6 is really standing out. At the same time, you are encouraged to just, it said, speak your truth wisely, Aries, and let it shine. And there's very much this heart shape here on the throat chakra of this peacock. So it's, and we got the lovely green and blue, so that's combining the throat chakra and the heart chakra. So that's what it's saying. And especially with some of this orange in here, it's like, it just said flare, like, watch your words. Like, you don't have to make it all, you don't always have to add so much flair to it and everything, right? Speak from your heart, speak truly, let that part of your words shine. Keep all that flourishment and embellishment just kind of like, it's got like extra paint and like a mandala and stuff back here, right? That's where it's saying, look at the difference in these two cards. The peacock is filling the whole card with its natural feathers and beauty. This parrot is bringing all this extra flourish of like paint, and this mandala is back here. And they're normally like, this is all usually very beautiful symbolism, but that's the comparison, is like speaking from your truth and your heart is enough, and it's enough to fill this whole card. You don't have to add all of the embellishment and everything. All of this is where people start interpreting things different ways, right? So just know that, like, your true words from the heart are enough, and they more than fill out your energy, this card, your aura field. And with this koi fish over here, so there's always enough. Now that's usually about abundance. That's usually about your abundance mindset. So this card does have a little bit, yeah, and it just brought me a flash of the fish card from my Lenormand deck. And that card is specifically about finances and business. And so that's where this is very much about your prosperity overall. Ah, yes. There we go. This message is all here to say, your words are powerful. Your words are your intention. It's very much going back to the basics of like law of attraction and stuff like that, right? You have to watch your words, because if you say things like, oh, I'm broke all the time, right? The universe hears your energy, hears that signal, and is like, oh, okay. And continues to send you that energy. Part of the reason some things are going on in your world right now is because you're learning lessons from them. And I still think it ties back to this concept of not getting to be your true self, but you're also just being advised in general, like life is giving you detours because there's lessons in the detours, right? So you're learning how to speak with intention and send your intentions to the universe as you intend them. Don't add all this flourish and embellishment. It's not needed. Speak from your truth and your heart. That's more than enough to send out the proper signal. It's showing me all the peacock feathers like little antennas, right? That's more than enough to send it out to the universe. Don't add all the embellishment. And sometimes you might not get it in the way or when you first expect it, but it is possible for it to happen. So trust the detours of life along the way, because that's probably the path to get you what you've asked for, right? That's the whole thing. And then finally, it's just saying you need to also work on, though, as in like your aura field and your outer mindset, is there's always enough. Like, that's what attracts things to you, because when you believe you always have enough, then the universe is always going to send and supply enough for you. You're going to have everything you need. It's about being humble, but it's also about staying in that vibration, that beautiful vibration. It just gave me the fins of the fish, like antennas too. Like, it's just attracting stuff to it. It's swimming through the universe, and everything it needs is just like magnetized to it, right? Flows to it. So you have a lot of advice about abundance. You have a lot of advice about speaking your truth and being yourself. And you have a lot of advice about overall trusting the universe, watching your words, so that whether it's the conversation about attraction and manifestation and the universe misconstruing your signal because your words are not clear, your intentions are not clear, or whether it's people misconstruing what you say because your words or intentions are not clear, you're being guided to just trust everything right now. Watch yourself and trust that there is always enough. All right, let's open up with the tarot and see what the message is for the rest of the year. Three of Wands. Just gave me a song. I don't know the singer of the song. P.S. I have a playlist here on the channel. I'm going to clean it up and clear it out. And that's exactly what this energy is about. I'm going to clean it up and clear it out so that the 2022 songs that come through tarot readings, it's just fresh energy. This card can be about cleaning. That's literally in the definition. But the song it gave me was... the lyrics say, she is looking for something, but she don't know where to go. It said, she's feeling like the whole damn world's gone and lost its own way. That's like the second line. It was really talking about she's looking for something, but she don't know where to go. And this card does carry that message of cleaning. So there's this... combined, it's like, even though it's a Three of Wands, it's giving it to me like two. There's this two-sided energy of cleaning up things. It's giving it to me more as preparation, not so much as like clearing out the old. It's more of like just cleaning up things in preparation, like when you clean your altar space for fresh energy to come in, right? When you clean out the playlist for fresh energy to come in. It's also giving it to me, though, as in you're looking for something. She's got the magnifying glass, right? You're searching for something by cleaning up, right? And sometimes you have to do that. Like when your space gets too cluttered, like you literally have to clean up. And in the process, you find things you forgot about or things you forgot where you set them down. But this is... something internal. You're looking for something, but you don't know where to go. So you're cleaning up some things in your life, kind of searching for something, but you don't know quite what it is. You're expecting to find something too. And look, that's what we were saying about like this whole attraction and manifestation things. Like you have to release any expectations when you're trying to put intentions out there for manifestation, because if you're expecting things in a certain way, then that's when you start messing up your whole juju, your whole path, right? So trust the divine detours. You might be like searching too hard for something. You might be searching too hard for something. Let's keep going. it just gave it to me like that card when it just moved this card, like it's just gonna like bump into you, right? Like that's the thing. It was like it's just gonna bump into you. That was something it just gave to me. Ace of Wands. Okay, couple things. So when I said it was going to just like bump into you, so this does in fact feature the image of a person, right? And it was showing me her head bowed, and it was saying like, why are you so shy? And then it started playing that kind of 80s song that's like, too shy, hush, hush, I do it, right? So there's something about shyness. Like if you actually like bump into somebody, right? Especially if it's a stranger, right, you feel awkward and you're kind of shy maybe, and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. And that's kind of like what her whole figure is saying in this pose, in this card right now. So it's giving it to me like it's actually a person. Like you're going to bump into this person. So maybe you're like cleaning up and preparing to bump into someone. Bump into a person. And with this Ace of Wands here, this could be like a new, I was gonna say like a date, or right, like a new relationship. It could be a new friendship. It could be anything like that. A connection that you make, or new project that you start. You bump into the right person for whatever you need. We were talking about business and finances over here, so in abundance. So this could just be about like you bump into the right person for a project at work. You bump into someone who becomes a new friend. You bump into someone that you end up having a serious relationship with, or just a few dates. You don't really know, right? But she doesn't know where to go. She doesn't know what it is. What's this? It said it's on the way. It said it's on the way. Okay, yeah. So it was giving it to me like this one was the same one as this one. You're going to possibly bump into this person on the way. So in traffic, in travel, if you're someone that like frequents the airport or something like that, right? So again, for some of you guys, I'm definitely getting the like networking business sense. Like you're going to bump into the right person. Ah, nice. It's bringing me an author who I have a couple of books from. His name is Robert Moss, and he talks about dreams and like how to bring manifestations into your life from your dream state, from just your real intuition and, you know, feelings and I don't know, what have you. And he often talks about how much he enjoys airports because they're this weird space where you travel long distances, and it's almost like when you get in the plane, you're kind of traveling across time and space. You never know who you're going to meet at an airport, and he's just like, there's a lot of synchronicities. There's a lot of things of that nature that happen in airports and how they're kind of like these magical places, right? And so that's where it's really bringing me this sense of travel, preparing, cleaning up, getting things together, going on some kind of journey. I'm getting the spiritual inner sense, and I'm also getting the sense of like things you do in your everyday life. Like you could possibly have a spiritual experience while traveling somewhere, right? That's what this message is all about. You can have spiritual experiences in your everyday life, and especially it's just bringing that theme of like airports, business, something along those lines, and the people and experiences you have in those moments. Yeah. Which I've definitely like had those experiences too. I have to agree with that whole philosophy about airports. I definitely have had my own experiences in that way. So there's and just traveling to new locations, right? Like there's sometimes you just find a really spiritual place, or you experience something really spiritual just through travels and traveling. I want them like this. Oh, it said sabotage. It just gave me Beastie Boys and it was like, touch your tongue with sabotage. It wants to specify that this is a card in the past. This is a card of the past. This is a card of fear and anxiety. This is talking about self-sabotage. This is talking about others sabotaging your plans, your energy. This card carries a lot of vengeance. This card carries a lot of, said nasty words, nasty things. There's this shape back here in this card, and it's not like it's a defined thing, but then there's this like eye thing to me, right? And I always feel that this thing's like a giant freaking cobra hanging back here behind these swords. And it's like watching her, she's turning around and looking back at us, the viewer, and that's where this card can have this kind of meaning, because she looks a little crafty, right? She looks like she's possibly planning or doing something. And when I pulled this card not too long ago, I was actually paying attention to the swords this time. It looks like she's kind of like within prison bars, and there's someone looking through these prison bars looking at her. And it's like we're inside the prison cell with her if she's turning around and looking back at us. And so there is this message here too about like if you're imprisoned and stuff in some kind of way internally, and especially if you're stuck in a prison cell with someone else, and especially if, I don't know, there's some giant creepy cobra snake thing, and it just was kind of mentioning like, right, like toxic people, toxic energy, keeping you locked in, watching you or something like that. Wouldn't you try to get out of that place, right? It's giving it to you like a fantasy novel. Like, wouldn't you try to get out of that prison cell if you were locked in somewhere unjustly or for whatever reason, right? People are going to try to escape is what it's saying. This card can go both ways. Like, she can be the person that is being more of this energy. It could be this kind of energy that's floating back here, right? Perspectives are different from both sides, but it was very much talking about sabotage. And with that, sometimes people sabotage your plans because they are not happy for you, is what it's saying right now. And that's basically what it's saying. Hang on, it's kind of like talking to me, sorry. It was saying this is a card of the past. The anxieties and fears you might have about travel and going places are due to self-sabotage and others sabotaging your plans. Travel anxiety is a real thing, y'all, and I actually do have it. This was so weird that that's coming up here in this Aries reading. Travel anxiety is a real thing, and mine was due to like a car accident, and there was like another time where, right, like some things got sabotaged on trips and things, travels, being in airports. These are things of the past. And through that, you have had possibly even some deeper spiritual experiences. And there's this double message about like things that are like keeping you locked in and paralyzed with fear, vengeful, nasty, sabotage type energy from within and without. And there's also this energy of like beautiful spiritual experiences that you have along the way. Trust the divine detours, right? Some things get sabotaged, you got to trust the divine detour. So for a present message, if you're traveling and trying to do something, some things get sabotaged. Trust the divine detours. They're leading you in some specific way. It could lead you to bump into someone new. It could lead you to bump into just the right person at just the right time. If your plane's delayed, right, and you end up sitting next to someone and having like a life-changing conversation, that's the kind of energy of the positive that's coming out here. It was saying, look what you became. Like, look what you've become. Hang on. There's like, this message is about the present, but there is a lot of past energy. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Duh. We're about to go through Mercury retrograde and everything. So there's a ton of review of some past events. And for you specifically, Aries, it's about some kind of travel, some kind of search, spiritual search, but also like traveling preparations and things like that. Bumping into the right people at the right time, having spiritual experiences. There's detours, there's sabotage energy here. And with all these swords, and that was something that has affected either you or it's kind of saying this person. So I feel like you're thinking about, I don't know, another person. Anyway, all these swords here, that's that mental energy, right? This is about navigating your thoughts, making up your mind, navigating choices. It's usually a positive energy, but it's not like traveling in a boat is necessarily easy, right? So the voyage can be rough. Right? Traveling in an airplane, you get some turbulence sometimes, right? And then you got all these swords down here. I'm telling you, this thing is just like a big old snake hiding behind here, kind of watching her. And with all these swords present, through the past energy that you've experienced, you become this Queen of Swords. Oh, nice. It said, I travel light. It said, I travel light. Ooh, nice. And it said that in two different ways. It said, I travel light as in weight, and I travel light as in I travel on light. Like a light beam. That's what I mean. Your spiritual experiences, it's like you work and travel on light. You're a light worker. You've become a light worker. It said a very sharp and clean and wise light worker. You've learned a lot of lessons. Nice. Okay, nice. This card that I have actually has like some little smudges stuck to it that I've never been able to clean off without ruining the artwork. It was just saying clean, right? You've been through like some mud and some muck spiritually. You've cleaned yourself up. You've started fresh and new. And then she's looking down. Look what you've become through this whole painful process, the things that were sabotage, all the detours, all the stuff, right? You're reflecting very much on the last year here in this first month of January. Look what you've become. You've become this Queen of Swords. You've become a light worker. You travel on light. You had those spiritual experiences and that spiritual awakening. But it also made you to the point where you travel light. Notice how each of these figures is pretty much alone in their card. She's only got a sword. She's only got a magnifying glass. She's only got her cape. Everyone's pretty much naked. It's like she travels light. She doesn't carry a lot of weight or people or extra items around with her anymore. I said because it weighs you down, it'll sink you down, so you travel light. Queen of Swords keeps her distance and very much is a solitary energy. She's been through painful experiences for sure. And look at her looking back at it. She's been in this cell with this energy before. Said, I ain't going back. So that's the whole thing, is like she travels light. She doesn't carry all that baggage around anymore. Look at all these, yeah, exactly. Swords, all these wands. You're down to one. You carry one. You just don't carry all that baggage and everything around with you anymore. You trust that there is always enough. I love that, yeah. Look at this koi fish. This orange and then like this kind of orange-red right here. That's exactly what it's saying. Like, there's always enough. Like, I'm not worried about having all this baggage. I'm not worried about having all these extra friends or people in my life that are technically unnecessary. I'm not worried about... there's no pentacles here. It's like you're not worried about money. There's no cups here. You're not really worried about some feelings right now at this time either. You're keeping your mind and your spirit in check first and foremost of all. I said it's not that you don't dip into those emotional energies. It's not that you don't tie yourself into material things. It's just very much, it said alignment. That's been a huge word in these readings so far, alignment. You're focused on your alignment. You're keeping things straight for yourself. You travel light. You're not carrying this pain or past energy or baggage or bullshit just around with you anymore. And I said, I agree. I agree. I want like 2 more cards. 2 more cards for you, Aries. It just gave it to me like these 2 guides, specifically these 2 birds over here want to talk. This one kind of just popped in my hand. And then these 2. Hang on, let me sit with this for a minute. Thank you, Spirit. Sorry. There's something in that. You might have some brain fog and stuff right now too. That can happen in Mercury retrograde as well. So that's why I was like saying, just like take your time, sit with it, feel things out, don't rush anything, trust the detours, right? Watch your words. But that's where it was saying the world. Oh, nice. Wow. It just gave me Eurythmics. Sweet dreams. It said, sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. It just said, like, you didn't understand maybe what those lyrics meant when you were young and fresh and new. You know exactly what those lyrics mean now as this light worker, as a Queen of Swords. Like, you just get it. That's that completion. That's that final, like, lock-in of the spiritual awakening. New things are about to be born. You've learned so many lessons, and that song is very much, it encapsulates a lot of the human experience about your psyche, about your emotions. Like, you've just learned a lot. You've traveled the world in the 7 seas, whether that's literally or internally. Everybody's looking for something. You've been through it all. You've gained so much wisdom. You've learned to watch your words. You've learned how to manifest and attract the things that you truly want from your heart and let that light shine. You do know how to trust the divine detours. That's what keeps you agile and on your feet here in the present. Your good vibes of there is always enough. Keeps you in abundance and flow. You travel light. You're not carrying this stuff anymore. And that's the whole thing. That's a heavy weight too, right? You've been through that rebirth. It was a lot. You're not carrying that weight anymore. What's this final note from these two guys over here? The gold on this horse right here is just lovely. Hang on, let me pull this card up. But yeah, like that light was hitting. Part of it was saying like, I've got to go. And that's very much a Knight of Wands energy. They move quickly. They don't necessarily stay in one place. But it was saying that as in like, you're constantly on the go. You're always on the move, on to the next thing. And this very get up and go kind of way. Like you're always, thank you. Oh, nice. It just gave me a Bible verse. It gave me, it's one of my favorite Bible verses actually. It does have personal meaning to me. It's Isaiah 6:8, and it's, well, basically the Lord says, and who will go for us, right? And it says, then said I, here am I, send me. And that's basically what it is. It's like, you become this light worker, you become this Queen of Swords, you become someone who travels on light, who travels light, who knows how to disperse of that mucky, muddy energy that comes from the experiences of life and the world. You're always ready to be on that mission and move forward. You're always ready to shine in that way. It's talking about how like a knight status is below a queen, so you very much try to humble yourself. And it just gave me like Padme from Star Wars, how she has like a decoy, right? It's like she's got a decoy because she doesn't like to walk around as queen all the time for all kinds of reasons. That's protection, but I mean definitely too, just be a normal person, right? So it's like, this is just talking about that humbling energy of traveling around more as a Knight of Wands rather than so much of a Queen of Swords. You're always ready on the mission to go forth, spread the light, spread good vibes, lead others on the detours of life with all the wisdom you learned. But you're truly this energy here, and it wants to see what's on the bottom of the deck for you. Yeah, you're very giving and very balanced all around after all of this. And very grounded. There's your pentacles. You're very grounded, right? Oh, it said, like, so let your light shine. So let your light shine. You've learned a lot. Come a long way. Let your light shine. That's what I got for you, Aries. That was a really nice, lengthy reading for you. So thanks to everybody that made it to the end there. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe as you see fit. And I'll see you guys on the next batch of readings. Thank you so much.